Her story, not his story. Suzanne enrolls onto a Black History course to learn all about her African ancestry. Her mother had never mentioned anything about originating from Africa, nor did she ever talk about her ancestors or how they ended up in Jamaica. The descendants of enslaved Africans who were taken to America had at least identified themselves as African American. There was no such term as African British or African Jamaican. Even those who remained in the Caribbean didn't call themselves African Caribbean. They seemed to want nothing to do with their African origins. Suzanne is determined to find out what took place during her ancestors' 400 years of enslavement, which had caused their descendants to become so totally disconnected from their roots. She arrives for her first class. The African history teacher is in his mid-50s, dressed in full African garms. Thank you for enrolling onto my course. My name is Dr. Walker, and I'll be taking you on a journey through our history to see how we arrived where we are today. Because as the great Marcus Garvey said, a people who do not know their history are like a tree without roots. He starts his first slide. A symbol of a bird facing backwards with the slogan, "It is not taboo to go back and fetch what you have forgotten," underneath. He asks, "Does anybody know what this symbol is?" A young man raises his hand. "A Sankofa bird. It's an Adinkra symbol from Ghana, West Africa." Dr. Walker commends him. "Very good, Stephen. Now this will be the symbol you'll see me use throughout the course as a constant reminder that it's not taboo to go back and fetch what you have forgotten. Next week we will watch the film Sankofa. Some of you might find it disturbing, but it's the foundation upon which I've built this course. Does anyone have any questions?" Suzanne raises her hand. "Yes, Suzanne? I was just wondering, is it necessary to watch the film if it's disturbing?" "I wouldn't have included it if it wasn't. In order for you to understand why you're the way you are today, you need to get to the root cause of your issues. Many of us are still carrying trauma from our ancestors in our DNA, passed down to us genetically. Remember, you're only watching it. They lived it. Now, has any of you read the Willie Lynch letter?" A few people raised their hands. "Those of you who haven't, that will be your homework before the next lesson." A young woman raises her hand. "Where can we get it from?" "You should be able to download it from the internet as a free PDF, or I can email it to you." "Great, thank you." Suzanne makes a note of it as well. Dr. Walker continues. Now, even though the letter was actually written by a black psychologist, it gives an accurate description of how white enslavers developed a brutal system to physically and psychologically traumatize our ancestors to break them down mentally in order to reprogram their mind to believe that they were the inferior race. Religion was their main weapon, along with barbaric acts such as whippings, rape, amputations, castrations, and of course, lynchings. Throughout this course, we're going to look at how this system is still being used today in a more covert way. Unless we can see that we're still in mental slavery, we won't be able to free our minds. We'll be studying the Willie Lynch letter as part of this course. The young woman, Grace, raises her hand again. "Are you saying Christianity was created by slave traders?" "No, but they used the Bible to keep our ancestors submissive to them. They didn't allow their captives to read and write and only quoted scriptures that benefited themselves, such as, 'Slaves, obey your earthly masters with respect, fear and sincerity of heart,' while deliberately leaving out the following verse which told slave masters to treat their captives the same way. But we're jumping ahead of ourselves. We'll be covering this in Lesson 3. For now, all you need to know is that our ancestors' 400 years of enslavement is still affecting the lives of their descendants today. Trauma like that doesn't just disappear because slavery was abolished.